The holographic star map flickered in the war room of the GSS Vigilance, casting blue light across Anna's face as she studied the Zytharian fleet positions. 300 warships, each the size of a small moon, hung in formation at the edge of the Sol system like a noose tightening around humanity's throat. "They're waiting for us to blink first," Lewis said from his station, fingers dancing across haptic controls. His neural implant pulsed softly at his temple, processing terabytes of tactical data per second. Anna didn't look away from the display. "The Council promised us 48 hours to evacuate civilian stations. That was 6 hours ago. And you believe them?" She finally turned to face her weapons officer, her old friend from the Mars Academy. 20 years of service together, and he could still read her better than anyone. "I believe they'd follow their own laws. Article 17 of the Galactic Concordat is worth less than the quantum foam it's encoded on." Lewis pulled up a secondary screen. "I'm detecting graviton fluctuations in their capital ships. They're charging FTL drives." Anna's blood went cold. FTL drives didn't just move ships between stars. They generated enough energy to crack a planet's crust. The Zytharians weren't positioning for bombardment. They were preparing for extinction. Time to full charge. 90 seconds. The civilian stations orbiting Earth held 40 million souls. The evacuation had barely begun. Even with humanity's most advanced transport ships working at full capacity, they'd save maybe a fraction of them. But Anna's hand hovered over the emergency protocol console. Earth's defense doctrine was clear. In the event of imminent genocide, all constraints were lifted. The quantum weapons were authorized, but using them meant breaking the Galactic Council's most sacred law. It meant humanity would be labeled as the aggressors, the war criminals, the species too dangerous to exist. 60 seconds, Lewis reported, his voice tight. Anna thought of her daughter on Station Olympus. She thought of the council chambers where humanity had pleaded its case, where Ambassador Chun had presented evidence of Zytharian provocations, only to be dismissed with the alien equivalent of a bureaucratic shrug. The council had decided humanity was expendable. A young species, barely 3 centuries into space travel, whose territory held resources the older civilizations wanted. "Anna," Lewis looked at her. "We need to decide." She accessed the quantum weapons array with her command codes. Humanity had spent 200 years developing them in secret. Ever since the first contact made it clear the galaxy operated on the principle of might makes right. The Council's pretty words about peace and cooperation were just that, words. The quantum weapons didn't use missiles or energy beams. They used something far more elegant and terrifying. Entangled particles seeded throughout the galaxy over decades of covert operations. Every major Zytharian military installation, every council shipyard, every strategic outpost had been dusted with them, invisible and undetectable, until they were activated. 30 seconds to Zytharian firing, Lewis said. Anna took a breath. History would judge her. The galaxy would judge her. But the dead wouldn't judge anyone. Execute Protocol Prometheus. The command went out at the speed of light, hitting relay stations across human space. Those stations sent quantum signals, instantaneous, untraceable, unstoppable. 15 seconds later, Lewis's board lit up like a supernova. "I'm reading. Jesus, Anna. I'm reading catastrophic failures across the entire Zytharian battle network. Their ships are dead in space. No power, no weapons, no life support." She pulled up the wider tactical display. Across the galaxy, red icons were appearing. Zytharian vessels going dark, council stations experiencing cascade failures, alien fleets simply stopping. The entangled particles had done their work, severing the quantum coherence that modern technology depended on. Every ship, every station, every piece of advanced technology touched by humanity's invisible hand had become inert metal and dying circuitry. "Civilian casualties?" Anna asked, her voice hollow. Lewis ran the calculations. "Minimal. The particles were engineered to target military and industrial systems. Life support on civilian stations is mostly unaffected. How long until they can rebuild? Years. Maybe decades. We didn't just destroy their fleets, Anna. We destroyed their entire technological infrastructure." She watched the holographic display as the greatest military powers in the galaxy went silent, one by one. The Zytharian armada around Earth drifted, lifeless. The Council's grand assembly on Talaxis was in darkness. Humanity had struck first, struck instantly, and struck everywhere at once. Incoming transmission, Lewis said. It's Ambassador Chun from the Council chambers. Anna activated the channel. Chen's face appeared, older than she remembered, lined with exhaustion and something that might have been satisfaction. Captain Zhang, the Council is requesting terms. They're asking how we did it. How we could possibly have. Tell them we learned from the best, Anna interrupted. Tell them we spent 2 centuries watching them lie, cheat, and position themselves while preaching peace. Tell them humanity is a patient species. She terminated the connection and turned to Lewis. Begin rescue operations. All Zytharian vessels in the system, their crews are now prisoners of war. Treat them according to the Geneva Conventions. The Geneva Conventions? Not the Galactic Concordat. Anna smiled grimly. We're done playing by their rules. From now on, the galaxy plays by ours. Outside the viewport, Earth turned below them, blue, green, and utterly untouched. The planet that was supposed to die was instead witnessing the birth of a new galactic order. The Council had lied. They'd underestimated humanity's capacity for patience, for planning, for doing what was necessary. They would never make that mistake again.